Hello everyone, Jakub Mamulski here. This is the time of year when lists of expected trends for conducting your marketing arrive and make more or less educated guesses about what to pay attention to, take under consideration while revising your comms strategy, and also what to avoid in the upcoming year. As we can't predict the future, here are some of my tips for the upcoming year and what can be done to advertise your games more effectively. Even though they are based on data and my previous experiences, these are pretty much shots in the dark. Well, who expected Twitter to take such a drastic turn this year in 2021? So I will also be including my honest opinion on whether they will come to fruition and if it's something that you should definitely include in your strategy. Do it if you have spare time or monitor if it even happens at all. Without further ado, let's start the list. Further advancement of vertical short video. It will definitely happen. TikTok, even though it's considered a pretty young platform, took the world of social media and content creation into a new direction, focusing on a format that was used previously on Vine, for example, but putting its very own twist on it, as loopable vertical videos weren't a thing really. Well, maybe we could consider Snapchat to be a social media that experimented with vertical video, but that wasn't the main focus of the platform, as the shtick was that the content disappeared after viewing for the most part. However, to get back on track, I believe that TikTok will continue to grow in 2023, as it's becoming a mainstay even among some older users. And because of this, it will be an absolute must for most developers to be on the platform, to make content that will be suited for it. Other platforms, especially Metas, try to copy the feature with Reels. The thing with these newish features is that they will be made advantageous when it comes to organic posting, and by this I mean that they will be favored by algorithms, especially when compared to other more traditional post forms. So while I don't think that trying to organically grow your audience on Facebook or Instagram with old formats will be a feasible effort, using Reels and Stories may be a decent idea when it comes to growing your audience. The same goes for YouTube with its shorts. Maybe other platforms will also introduce their own formats of short vertical videos that will become more than a novelty in 2023. Who knows really? Anyways, using TikTok will become a must for most, and why not expand, as you will already have pieces of content that will probably only need minor adjustments to how they look and other details to be posted in at least 3 other formats, well, Stories, Reels and Shorts. It all boils down to recycling content really, which is a great thing to do as it helps with making heaps of content, and you should also consider using it generally in your marketing. More focus will be put on cloud gaming publishing, and it will become easier for indie devs. 50-50, hard to say. Xbox Game Pass is slowly carving a piece of the market for itself, reaching 25 million users in January last year. Even though it's odd that we didn't see any announcements regarding the user base, we can probably estimate that it's easily past the 30 million users mark, based on the previous pace of growth. Maybe they want to make another announcement at 50 million users. Well, whatever the reason is, Xbox Game Pass and GeForce Now are here to stay, it seems, and they will grow, offering even better experiences in the future. This may prove to be interesting for indie devs, as playing in the cloud usually allows for a pretty universal experience, as most of the machines that are used on the service provider's side are most likely of similar quality and offer similar performance. This means that if the infrastructure of service providers is homogeneous, the devs should be able to develop games extremely optimized for cloud gaming. I'm not sure if this will be the case, but it definitely would allow the devs to, switch focus from making the game as compatible as it gets and just creating one version that's built for one specific device. This kinda happens in the case of Apple's M1 chips. They're pretty uniform, and because of that, apps that are run on them can be extremely optimized. As cloud gaming may prove interesting from the developmental point of view, I also imagine that it offers interesting business incentives for developers. Xbox Game Pass's main screen is more or less a storefront, and I expect that more indie games than before will be making it to the platform and will be nicely placed on the familiar grid in 2023. If Microsoft really believes that cloud gaming will be the future of gaming, they will certainly start offering more and more incentives for the devs, such as a fast-tracked version of publishing their games to XGP, cloud gaming exclusivity deals, more support when it comes to dealing with the storefront and development environment, and also allowing for more ASO, as XGP may be considered a Steam competitor and they may want to experiment with such solutions. Will these things happen? It's kinda hard to say, as Microsoft surely have their plans and expectations set for their iteration of cloud gaming for quite a while, and trying to figure out if they will make it easier to publish games there, and if they will offer more support to the devs who decided to comment to the platform is just a guessing game at this point. Still, it would be worth having an eye on them. Twitter ads may become a new hot thing in the world of PPC campaigns, likely, albeit not as a permanent fixture. Look, people talking about whether Twitter will fold or not may or may not have a lot of valid points. My bet is that Twitter simply will not be closed, and I think that 2023 will bring some interesting developments to the platform. It may be hard to predict what will happen, as Elon Musk seems to be all over the place in terms of this company. However, a fair assumption would be to say that he will try to maximize the profit, and the company can do that by minimizing costs and maximizing income. Aside from firing heaps of employees, thus looking for savings, he will most likely take some actions to increase the revenue. One of the primary ways social media platforms earn money is by advertisement, and Twitter, to put it lightly, isn't a great ad platform. Their current ad ecosystem doesn't allow for as good targeting as in the case of Meta, AdWords or even Reddit, and the campaigns there usually are pretty expensive, and by this I mean that the CTRs are kinda low, and by CTRs I mean click-through rates, and CPCs, and in this case I mean cost per clicks, are pretty high, especially compared to other platforms. My bet is that Twitter will try and change this. However, I don't expect them to roll out a new ads targeting system. That would just make too much sense. What I think they will do is they will most likely just lower the prices needed to achieve satisfactory results from the platform. This may not be very beneficial for them, and as soon as people realize what's going on, they will jack the prices back up and it will fluctuate like that. Will it happen? I think that in the case of this platform we just can't be certain, but it seems plausible when we look at its predicaments as of late, and I suggest including Twitter in your PPC A/B tests and seeing where it goes. I imagine that Twitter won't be able to maintain its ad ecosystem in its current state forever, and it might someday become good for our purposes, but it certainly won't be in 2023, and we should rather look at what in practice will be discounts for having PPC campaigns there. ASO will become a necessary skill for community managers and other marketing adjacent roles. It will start happening this year, but it's going to be a long process. App Store optimization can be thought of as storefront SEO more or less. It's a set of activities such as optimizing tags, publishing updates, buying placements and changing feature images capsules in order to make the game more visible and to improve the install conversion rates. It may be important, but most of the time, especially in the sphere of PC and console gaming, it's usually done once and forgotten. Maybe some small adjustments are done here and there, maybe CMs will respond to bad reviews, and that's about it. This all will be making a shift though. The reason for that is a crossover with another type of gaming and professionals hailing from it, mobile gaming. Mobile games marketing is quite different to what we may see in the world of PC and console releases. Surprisingly, it is hands down the most data-driven of them all. Google and Apple don't shy away from providing developers with info about how the products perform in the stores, and are also extremely ad-friendly, allowing for measuring exact CPIs, thus cost per installations, something that most Steam and console marketers could only dream of. However, there are more and more people who have experience in dealing with storefronts on both mobile and traditional gaming platforms, and they will often strive to crank out every bit of data possible out of, say, Steam as if it was Google Play Store, and they will start making adjustments in order to push the storefront placement to its limits, and then some. Such an aggressive ASO approach will become more prevalent in 2023, especially in the case of Steam, as the new placement spaces seem to encourage experimenting with tags and grant more opportunities to have a game highlighted in the new tab. However, ASO is rarely delegated to a person that only deals with it, and it's one of the skills that marketing generalists, CMs and social media specialists will be expected to perform, and it's a good idea to learn how to do it right to gain an advantage on the job market. I imagine smaller and mid-sized companies will slowly start expecting such roles to know about how to do ASO properly. We'll see record-breaking both in terms of quality and earnings Web3 and NFT games. Certain but insignificant, more of a piece for market research. This will be a short one. I believe that NFT gaming companies will start realizing that their games should be good, and we'll start seeing more P2E, play to earn games one could consider to be of high quality, and they will most likely generate more money than they do now. They are bound to do that as the market is headed towards some sort of maturity and stability. Most people, however, will still not see the appeal of such titles and will opt for non-Web3 based games. A big part of the problem with the title is that most of them may be quite confusing for people not well versed in the world of crypto. Because of this, I think that Web3 gaming companies will focus on drastically improving the quality, accessibility and user experience of their titles. Web3 gaming will still not be a significant part of the market, but I feel that writing about this, or talking in this case, whether liked or not, new and exciting for some, branch of gaming is appropriate. Unfortunately, I don't see Web3 and NFT titles becoming mainstream unless Steam and other storefronts change their policies regarding them, and it will almost definitely not happen next year, possibly in the foreseeable future or at all as well. Okay, so here are some of the predictions I have for both marketing in the gaming industry and the gaming market in the upcoming year. How do you think? Will they come to fruition? Do you expect to bet on them? Share your thoughts and plans in the comments. If you'd like to hire me, let me know via email or via LinkedIn. Thanks. Cheers.